And we're back. Let me get through these pretty quick. We'll see. This one was very hard to find. Uh, had a friend in the book group. Uh, he was able to find it uh, before it became near impossible to find. I think this is another one where the ebook cover is is used online. It's hard to find a physical copy with this cover. I believe this is the first edition, which is why it's got this cover. And then any edition you find after that, it's got the other cover to it, which is kind of plain for me. But it's not really rare. It's not rare otherwise. But this first edition it has gotten a little rare because, like I said, it was for almost impossible for me to find. S.C. Mendez, The City. The friend recommended this quite a bit, and I read the synopsis, and it's pretty interesting. Let me see if I can get better light for you to see this. I mean, there's a lot going on in this cover here. Very interesting. Yeah. You just got to see this one in more detail than others I've been showing. Yeah. Continuing on. Robert Bloch, Midnight Pleasures. Now, I like this one because of what the seller did. You're probably not familiar with this cover. Hold on a second. You're used to it having this cover, ain't you? Yeah, that's the normal hardback cover, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's just plain hardback after that. There's nothing special on it. It's a book of short stories like a lot of his are. 16. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything special about it. There was a reason why I searched this out. I forgot why. It must have been a certain story. Uh, None of these are jumping off at me for some reason. Anyway, maybe I was looking for another book and I stumbled upon it. Uh, anyway, the seller told me that they made this particular jacket themselves. I don't know where the image came from. Maybe it is available with this cover. I don't know. But they said they made it. And then they even put little promotions on the back for other books. You know, science fiction from Doubleday. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting, and it was a little bit higher than some of the others that I could have found, and there was not really any eye-catching covers of this that I could find anywhere, even paperback, hardback, or anything. They were all kind of boring, like this other one. And when I saw this, I said, "Well, there you go. There's something worthy of a shelf." And I said, "Well, it's worth that extra little bit of money. Why not?" This is enough. This next book, there was a cover I tried to get, and it was just out of my range. It's hard. If I took more time to look for it, I probably could have found it, but I gave up. And like I said, I could always usually print off a copy, and what I've done is been taking those covers and make bookmarks out of them instead of usually sometimes I've framed pictures that way, bringing out book covers, from online, you know. And if I wanted to, I could do that other cover with this one. But yeah, this one was more or less affordable. I believe it's trade edition too. It doesn't. I don't. It says first edition, but I don't know. You got to be careful with first editions. A lot of these. Well, no, it's not. It can't be first edition. It says the story was written in '98, and this one came. This book is 2005, so it can't be a true first edition. You'll let me know in the comments, but I don't. But I'm pretty sure about that. Another Lansdale, the boar. Yeah, not much to see in this cover, so the lighting is not going to be that big a deal here. Let's see here. I'll show you that the actual cover does have a little bit of something there. I guess it's like a footprint or something on what that's supposed to be. Yeah, I got a lot. I told you once before, I got a lot of pig books as well, and when I collected all those other pig books, I said, well, I heard about this, and I got to get this one too. But the actual cover, with the more eye-catching cover, it's up there in price a little bit. This one probably don't need much light for this one. Exorcisms and Ecstasies, Carl Edward Wagner. I believe this is the only Wagner I got. Collection of quite a few stories, I guess. Maybe some non-fiction too. Maybe it might be mostly non-fiction. I don't know. Pretty decent length size. From what I understand, a lot of people want this. Can't hardly tell here. There's a face in the smoke. There you go. You can see it there. Jack Daniels bottle. Smoke coming out of it. A lot of people have been getting it for that image, for according to the seller, I guess. Said that. And yeah, nothing. There's a few articles here that are on him too, not just stuff he wrote. I don't know. It seems to be a good introduction for me to him, even though he's got stuff in all kinds of book collections. He's been pretty prolific. Yeah. Yeah, like I got quite a few short story. I mean, science fiction collections and horror collections, short story books, and you'll see his name quite a bit in those things. Michael McBride. Oh dang! Need to get the lighting ain't good on at all for that. Very bright, flashy. Michael McBride's The Infected. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see this one. Lighting is not being very nice to this one. Yeah. Yeah, this is another limited edition. Yeah, I'll tell you right away that I haven't opened this one since I got it. They marked it as unread #1. I know this one's going to be signed. I'm not sure if I've opened this before. It doesn't look like I have. Let me see here. I might have, yeah. I'm not sure if I have any #1s. Yeah, I remember opening this, yeah. Yeah. Because I remember that little image there. I think they showed that in the listing. That's probably where I remember that from. Yeah, it is the #1. Copy #1. Michael McBride. Seems to be another creature feature book, I guess. When you have that image like that, with that giant mosquito looking thing. I got a there's a few books that I got that are supposedly low numbers. I don't know how many they put out of this. Usually it's a few hundred, quite a few hundred. Dang, I don't want to go back in. There, there we go. It will be read. It's not read yet, but it will be. Alright. Sick Chick Flicks. John Skip. There's 3 screenplays in there. Let's see, tell you what they are. After Party, The Legend of Honey Love, and Rose. Yeah. I was looking for what's it called? It's that book that they put out with that. Never mind, it'll be too confusing. Maybe unless it's back here. Yeah, the Scream. I was looking for a copy of the Scream because I wasn't too interested in the synopsis I heard. I was wanting to see if I could find a copy of a book that was a book version of the Scream movies. Scream One, Scream, with Ghostface guy. But the actual Scream that Skip and the other guy wrote. It's not showing his other name. It's like a war movie or a war book of some sort. I think. I don't know. It's a synopsis. It's a little odd. And when I was looking for that and possibly some other Skip books, and this one come up, and it didn't seem to be that many of them. And if I remember correctly, the seller probably said something to the fact that there wasn't that many put out. I don't know exactly. It might be a little rare. Like I said, I'm not sure if I've seen another listing for it. I don't forget what the seller said. Anyway, now we're getting into at least a couple that I really like. This in here, I'm probably gonna like this one too. David J. Show, DJS Stories. Another limited edition. Yeah. Purple book. Can't tell. Doesn't show up, but there you go, right there. It's $2.73. Yeah, let me hold on to it here. Try not to push that button. Turns it off. It's hard to. Yeah. Anyway, you get the point. Yeah. Pretty. There's a good number of stories in here. Yeah. Still in pretty good shape. This one here, I thought I was gonna be content with the with the ebook copy I got. I believe I got it as an ebook, and then I saw this was available. at a reasonable price. I believe it was should have. I've been buying a lot of books that are unreasonable prices, so I can't say for sure if it was. It might have been reasonable enough for me to get it at any rate. And it's for some reason it was a library copy too, and you find a lot of limited editions library copies for some reason. I don't know what. I've never seen. Well, I take that back. My library did have one or two that I stumbled upon in there that was limited edition or signed. So yeah, it is possible that they can be found. You know, I think I probably got a half dozen of my limited editions at least, maybe, that came from a library or were library copies at one time. I don't know how in the world that happens really. But anyway, it does. The Bubba and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers, another Joe Lansdale. This is a limited edition of 1500, and it is number 1400 out of the 15. And I became a Lansdale fan because of the movie Bubba Hotep. And when I found out he wrote like the drive-in books and especially this book here, I'm try to get you. Then I said, well, it's no brainer. I gotta have most of everything by him that I can get. And I'm another guy I'm big fans of, like Joe Bob Briggs, the drive-in reviewer, and he gives me a little bit of a vibe of that. And yeah, got one more book, and this is a big one. And I sold my copies of paperbacks of this, and because I no longer needed them, because I plan on reading this one here. I read the first volume. I was getting ready to start the second, but I didn't get around, haven't gotten around to it yet. But this, even though this is the trade edition, it is still near impossible. Well, not I wouldn't say it's near impossible to find, but it's it's bloody expensive anyway when you find it. And I definitely paid for this one, but I got it now. And the main reason you want to get this book is because it has the postscript. The paperbacks, as far as I know, do not have the postscript in it. And what am I talking about? Clive Barker's Books of Blood. This is all 6 in one book. And yeah, even though it's a trade edition, you wouldn't think the trade edition would be very expensive, but everybody's holding on to it. I don't know how many copies there are, but everybody has got one that's pretty much holding on to it. And that postscript is on Jerusalem Street, which wraps up the series. I believe it can be found online if you look for it somewhere. Somebody put it online. It's not that long, so it can be found if you can't find it any other way. But yeah. When I finally get around to read them again, this is what I'm going to read. And because it's a trade edition, I don't have to worry about it too much, even though it costs a lot. And I can probably resell it if I wanted to, but I probably won't. Because, I mean, you can get it. The 6 books were published in at least one edition of 3 books each. Actually, there might have been 2 or 3 editions that done that way. One of them had the exact same copy for volume 2 as it did for volume 1, so it's going to be really tricky to order that. You don't know for sure if you're getting volume 2 or volume 1. unless it's the seller specifies and shows pictures, which a lot of them don't. So yeah, that could have been a cheap way to go, but I wanted it as all in one, and I didn't want to get burned and having to waste my time that way. So, but if you want to take a chance, then you can get those. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I'm a cover person. I like covers. Uh, in the Books of Blood, all the paperbacks, most of the paperbacks, all of them really have really nice covers. The the British version, the American version. I mean, yeah, there's some really nice, especially the ones where they have combined the six into a very similar theme. And yeah, just they all got good covers. I mean, you can go crazy just just ordering the different editions because of that. And maybe something I might think about eventually in the future, uh, but right now, yeah, I'll be happy with that. Uh, so yeah, that's this shelf. Uh, I got one more shelf to do here. Then I got all those on the back wall, but I think after I do this next shelf, I'll probably do those two collections, the Hell and Possession books or whatever that I got. So I let this one run long, but I had some really good books to show in this one. The only ones I'm pretty proud of, or like, I think it's worth it in this one. Well, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.